I think the incremental approach works really well for static analysis. It's something that would be kind of non-trivial to do with dynamic analysis. So it's really cool. One question I had was about the, I think it was like slide 22. You have, there's some bugs that are not actually possible to trigger, yeah. Yeah, what could you speak to that a little bit? Like why you reported those and like why they're not actually possible to trigger?
In our evaluation, those bugs are like some PCR read, and also that they have some like code handling to see that if this read is failed, then it will return the error code. But the caller doesn't check this kind of error code, so we think that maybe this will happen. But when we communicate with the kernel developers, they say that this kind of PCI read, this hardware read, can be rarely failed in reality unless you do some hacky things in the virtual machine.
Okay, so it was like.
So,
hello? Okay. Yes. So it's basically some constraint that I guess wasn't modeled in the analysis.
Yeah, I would say that's kind of human domain knowledge to say, okay, the hardware read cannot fail in reality.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Roland Yap, NUS. I was just curious about your static analyzer for the UBI. So how does it differ from other static analyzers?
Okay.
I mean, there are many static analyzers which have looked at UBI, right? I'm not very familiar with them, so that's why I asked.
Okay, yeah. I think that our analysis is both precise because it uses like field-sensitive, context-sensitive, and flow-sensitive analysis. And because our analysis also combines the small execution, so it's kind of path-sensitive. And also it can scale to the kernel. Previous work, like if they want to be precise, then for example, they use purely the small execution method, then there will be the scalability issue, like Clang static analyzer. They just do like they just test the use before initialization locally inside the file. So that's a scalability issue. And also others, they don't do the inter-procedure analysis. They just do some like very conservative assumption about the variables. So that if they want to, they're scalable, but they are not precise. So they will have like false positives, many false positives. So I think that's.
What about those commercial ones like Grammatech or whatever?
Can you repeat? I didn't
you know, there are various commercial static analyzers like Grammatech, for example. I have never used them, so I don't know.
Oh, you mean Clang static analyzer?
No, Grammatech. There are various commercial static analyzers.
Oh, commercial static analysis.
Yeah.
Tools?
Yeah.
Like which one?
I think Grammatech.
Covarity or?
Covarity, Grammatech.
And the thing is that we actually want to do the study about the covarity, but since they are closed source, then they do not require us to do the comparison. They explicitly said so that so we cannot compare.
We have a question in the Slack channel. So the function summary seems only handle the function parameters. Is it possible for the global variables to have the UBI bug? If so, does your tool handle this?
Yeah, that's actually a good question, because currently our function summary just include the initialization status or updates for the function input and output for stack variables. So for global variables and actually the heap variables, it's a more complicated question, so we're not handling that. We'll have some tries, so if he's interested, I can share some story.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Do we have more questions?
Thank you for the interesting talk and the awesome work. I just have a quick question regarding if extending your incremental analysis to other types of static analysis on source code. Can you just talk a little bit about that?
Assuming like use our incremental analysis to detect other kind of bugs.
Exactly, beyond use before initialization.
I think that we use the use before initialization as a case study to showcase our incremental analysis. So I will recommend you to look at our like UV tag or even okay so you will get familiar with the workflow. So we use kind of change style analysis. So basically, any change style analysis, any bugs that can be modeled or can be tagged by the change analysis can also be detected by the incremental analysis. And I think the technical things is that you need to redefine the function summary for specific bugs. Yeah, but that works. That works. We actually try to implement some code to do so. Yeah. You're welcome.